Hi guys, so today's video is going to be about the best new releases of 2022 in my humble opinion. So I have actually quite a few new releases from this year, and all of the ones that I have here I absolutely love. Some I got a few months ago, some I got a few weeks ago, some I got just recently, but I really want to talk about them in this video, so I'm really excited for today's video. Let's get into it. I cannot wait to see if you guys have tried any of these. I have a few, maybe about 3 that I am absolutely like, you need to go out and get them right now, and the rest of the list is also really impressive. So let's just get straight into it. I'm gonna start out with one that you guys have heard me speak about once, I think, on my channel, Gris Charnel Extrait from Parfums, obviously. You guys know, if you follow me here, I have to claim it right now. I think I was one of the first people to speak about Gris Charnel, the original, because when I smelled it for the first time, I just resonated completely with the fragrance. There was something about it that I just was like, yes, I found the next gem. This is for me. This really speaks to me as a fragrance. So I was really excited when I knew that David was launching an Extrait version of Gris Charnel. You guys don't understand, the fragrance is so popular. If you look online, so many people love Gris Charnel, and now they have the counterpart, the Extrait, which I'm gonna speak about quickly in this video. For me, the Extrait has less of that figgy, milky feeling that the original has, which I was really surprised that I love about the original, because if you know me, I'm not a big fan of this fig note in fragrances. I don't know, it's just a personal preference, but Gris Charnel, for some reason, it just works. The creamy, milky, smooth woodiness with that little green figgish touch and the bit of cinnamon, it's just perfect. Now, the Extrait version for me is a little bit more vanilla. I feel that there is a little bit more iris in here, and it dries down to become a little bit more woody and a touch smokier than the original. Overall, it is incredible, and I would say if you like the original, you're going to love the Extrait version. I would say it leans actually a slightly more masculine than the original Gris Charnel. I would say the Extrait is a little bit more masculine leaning, and I just absolutely love it. It's probably a little more sexy as well than Gris Charnel. Gris Charnel Extrait, definitely one of the best releases of this year, hands down. Okay, so next up we have Musc Noir Rose from Narciso Rodriguez. Again, another one that you guys know. Look at my bottle, guys. Look at my bottle. For me, this is an easy reach fragrance. This is a perfect feminine, easy reach scent. It does share some similarities with Soir from Parfums in the dry down. The dry down of Soir smells somewhat similar to this fragrance right here. They're not the same by any means, but they definitely share this kind of similar profile. Musc Noir Rose is obviously less fruity. There is no fruity notes in here. It's got a little more of like a vanillic tone to it. Overall, for me, this is a beautiful, just very sensual, flirtatious, sexy fragrance that's really easy. Musc Noir Rose has a beautiful tuberose note. There is obviously this musky overtone to the whole entire scent, and it definitely has this beautiful sweetness to it from some vanilla. What I love about it is that it's very light and quite transparent of a scent. It doesn't feel heavy. The floral notes are not heavy. It doesn't smell like tuberose in the way that you think. It's very light and airy overall, and it's just beautiful. A very easy fragrance. It's not gonna blow your mind. It's not gonna be groundbreaking, but it's a very pleasing fragrance, and it's very attractive. It's a very attractive scent that I think a lot of people would love to smell on a woman. So Musc Noir Rose from Narciso Rodriguez, definitely one of my favorite releases this year as an easy reach fragrance. Okay guys, so one that I just received when I went to Essence in Milan is from Royal Crown, and this fragrance is called Nocturna. Now, I don't know the notes of this fragrance. I remember briefly what Nicoletta was telling me. She's the person managing the brand. And I remember what she was saying just briefly, but I don't know all of the notes and stuff inside of the fragrance. For me, Nocturna, I loved it immediately when I smelled it, and it's a sort of fragrance when you smell it, you catch a whiff of it in the air and you're absolutely intoxicated by the fragrance. Keep in mind guys, I have not worn this one yet, I've just tested it, but really smelling it just off of the tester strip, I absolutely love this fragrance. It's quite a dark, syrupy, fruity amber scent. That's what I pick up from the fragrance. It's dark, it has a syrupiness to it, it has this dried, fruity smell, very like sweet and addictive, and it has this like ambery quality to it as well. Maybe some red fruits, some dried fruits, a bit of like a caramelization going on in there. And it is just so addictive and sexy. For me, this is a very sexy fragrance for a woman or a man, depends what you're into. But for me, I think that this is a very sexy scent for a woman. If you're going out at night, if you're going on a date, I feel like this is just perfect. Just by smelling it, I know I'm going to absolutely love to wear this one. If you're into sweet fragrances that have like this ambery kind of fruity smell, you need to try this one immediately. So next up is one from LK, which is the brand of Sonia Constant, who actually made the Musc Noir Rose from Narciso Rodriguez. I did actually meet with her in Paris, and she showed us the new releases, which is a leather trilogy. All three of the fragrances are worked around the note of leather, which, as you guys know, I'm not the biggest fan of, but I was really intrigued by what she did with each of the three fragrances. Every single one smells really different and is a completely different interpretation of leather. And the one that was my favorite is called Ghibli. Now, Ghibli for me, I'm just gonna give it a little spritz. I actually wore it in Paris one night. It lasted all on my clothes for days and days. It was very strong, very intoxicating. Oh yes, I absolutely love this fragrance. So in the top, when you first spray it, you do get this kind of leather feeling, but more subtle. It doesn't have like this aggressive leather bag smell or leather petrol sort of smell. It's very soft, really well blended. It has this kind of warm woodiness to it as well. And there is a beautiful honey note in here, which is why obviously I lean towards this one out of the three, because there is this beautiful, sweet, honey note in here. Very addictive, very sexy. When I wore it, I noticed the honey, it comes out after, maybe after like 10 minutes of wearing, you really smell the honey note in the fragrance, and it's just really, really sexy, really addictive. A mix between a lot of different notes, but predominantly that little like leathery touch, but the honey is just, wow. I don't know what my camera is doing right now. Next up, we have Haltane from Parfums. Now, for me, I think that this one is going to become one of the top sellers of the brand for sure. It's very appealing. It's very, it's not commercial, but it's just a very appealing fragrance that I think is going to do really well for the brand. And I believe that it's available now, not only in Harrods. I don't think it's a Harrods exclusive anymore. I think you can purchase it anywhere. So when you initially spray the fragrance, you get this nice aromatic kind of feeling to the scent, a little bit of a freshness as well, but it immediately starts to open up to the heart notes of the fragrance. So in the top you have lavender and clary sage and I think bergamot, and then you start to get this sweetness coming through and a little bit of this like smoky feeling from some saffron. The base of this one is oud and cedarwood, so it does have like this very woody feeling to it overall. And yes, while it does bear some similarities to Oud for Greatness from Initié Parfum, I don't feel like they're exactly the same. I have smelt fragrances that are much closer to Oud for Greatness, but I do see why people are comparing the two for sure. They do have this kind of similarity to them. But overall, you get this beautiful, slightly smoky, sweet, woody scent that is just amazing to die for. There is like this kind of, yeah, smoky feeling to it. There is a sweetness. The woodiness is just incredible. Very addictive, very sexy. I feel like this could be the next Layton. I still prefer Layton because it's my OG, but this is definitely gonna compete. That's just my humble opinion. So Haltane, a fantastic release from 2022. I was waiting for Parfums de Marly to release something as good as their top sellers like Herod, Layton, everything. And I think that they did it with Haltane. It's a fantastic fragrance. Next up, we have French Flower from Matiere Première. I did have the chance to go and visit them in Gris, which was just amazing. I took part of their Rose Centifolia harvest, and it was just such a nice experience. Even though I went there, this is completely unbiased. As you guys know me, I only talk about fragrances if I actually really like them. There is no point after building my community and building a relationship with you guys to lie or to be biased with brands. There is no point. But French Flower is fantastic. I absolutely love it. I had the chance to smell it last year before it released, and I loved it back then and I love it now. Wow. For me, this is quite a sweet tuberose scent. It really smells raw and carnal. There is a freshness in the top. I think there is a little bit of ginger in the top to give it this kind of like ping to the opening. I feel like there is a slight greenness to it. I think it's coming from some tea. And overall, you get this kind of sweet bubblegummy tuberose, not in a synthetic, sickly way. The notes are playing so beautifully together in here. You really still feel like the fragrance is quite raw and carnal, but it has this beautiful pear note to bring this like slightly bubblegummy sweetness to it. But it still maintains this little green, fresh quality that I love, which kind of makes me feel like you're walking into a tuberose field at night. You're smelling all of the flowers around you. It's very sexy, it's very addictive and carnal and raw, and that's what I feel about French Flower. A beautiful play on tuberose, and I absolutely love it. I feel like this could be a beautiful wedding day fragrance if you're a fan of tuberose. I really do think it could be a stunning fragrance to wear on your wedding day. If you're getting married, try this fragrance. It might be something that you would like for a wedding day. Next up, I have a fragrance from Caron. Now, this is for men. I don't feel like it's a very unisex fragrance. I really feel like it's quite masculine. This is Pour un homme de Caron le soir. So it's Pour un homme de Caron, but for the night. And I have to tell you, I am obsessed with this fragrance. When Pierre wore this, he's worn it twice. I could not stop telling him how good that he smelled. I'm gonna spray it, I'm gonna smell it, and you guys are gonna rush out and buy it. Okay, so what I'm getting is a lot of lavender mixed with like this milky vanilla sort of note. But when it's on the skin and when Pierre was wearing it, it just smelled intoxicating. There is a beautiful orris note in here to bring this kind of like buttery creaminess to it. And it also has a beautiful cypress note to bring some aromatic green freshness. And it also has an incense note to bring a little bit of a smokiness. I do have to say I prefer it on the skin rather than smelling it off of a tester strip. On Pierre's skin, it just smelled incredible. It projected a lot and it was very powerful and very strong. A beautiful nighttime version of Pour un homme de Caron. We're gonna talk about one of my favorites in this list. It is Babycat from the Vestiaire collection from Yves Saint Laurent. You guys know I talked about this one in a previous video. I just cannot get enough of this. Oh my god, you guys. Immediately, like it brings me back to Oman, smelling frankincense everywhere, burning resins everywhere, in the souk. Wow, it is just amazing. It is a mixture between a vanilla and like a very incensey, resinous, balsamic type of scent. Just beautiful. I believe it was only made for the region, so like the Middle East, which is kind of unfortunate, but if you can get your hands on a bottle, try to. If you like a resinous vanilla, this is just incredible, you guys, like absolutely incredible. The vanilla is divine. The resinous feeling to it brings something a little more unique and a bit oriental. It is just, wow, a 10 out of 10 fragrance. I absolutely love it. I cannot stop wearing it. And yeah, definitely by far one of my favorite releases of 2022 was Babycat from Yves Saint Laurent. This is a unique vanilla. It doesn't smell like a cake Barbie girl, you know, like this very sweet, candy vanilla. It's a really sexy and mysterious vanilla with all of that resinous notes, these peppery notes. It is just beautiful. Next up is one that I just got as well at Essence and I absolutely love it. It is Tero by Nishane. Now, guys, this one is, let me spray it. This is by far one of the most unique fragrances that I've tried all year. And I feel like not everyone is gonna like this. Not everyone is gonna love this fragrance, but I love it. There is something so unusual and unexpected about the scent. So Tero is sea salt, it's caramel, it's pepper, patchouli, you have cinnamon, oak, amber. But overall, I get this kind of like, it's hard to explain, but I smell a little bit of like this peanut butter sort of scent to it. I don't know how to explain that. It also smells quite earthy in a way. Like there is definitely like this earthy feeling to it. And it is just, wow, super unexpected, super unique, a beautiful fragrance. It has a sweetness. It also has this like very earthy feeling to it. It's really hard to pinpoint any of the notes that are listed, but for me, I get, yeah, like this peanut butter, nutty, earthy, sweet, creamy sort of scent. And it is just, wow, very unique, very unexpected, and I absolutely love it. So Tero from Nishane, definitely try it if you wanted to try something very unique and very strong, very potent, very long lasting, like most of Nishane's fragrances. Actually, you guys don't know this, maybe I mentioned it in a few videos, but my absolute ride or die favorite fragrance at the moment is Nefs from Nishane, and Tero, I think it's going to be one as well. So next up is one from Frassai, and it is called Victoria. Now, I loved this the second that I smelled it. It is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Oh, it really, I don't know how they did it, but they really captured in the opening the real smell of lychee. Like lychee, not in a synthetic way, not in the way that we've all smelled it. It really smells like lychee. When you taste a lychee, it's exactly what the opening smells like. There is something slightly green in here. I think it's petit grain. There is a beautiful tuberose note as well. There is a bit of rose, some patchouli, some incense. But overall for me, I feel like it has this slight tea quality to it. I don't know where it's coming from. It could be the petit grain, but I get this beautiful kind of fresh and tea-like tuberose fragrance, quite light, really beautiful, and very like calming. For some reason when I smell this, it's a white floral but done in such a calming and soothing way. I absolutely love it. I cannot tell you guys, it is a beautiful fragrance from Frassai. Definitely my favorite from their newer releases, and yeah, a great release from 2022. Frassai Victoria. So next up is another favorite release. It is Blue Heart from Thameen. I cannot pinpoint all of the notes in this fragrance or even pick out what I'm really smelling. There is something kind of fresh in the top. There is some saffron, there is coconut, there is amber, there is musk. It's a very hard fragrance to explain how it smells, but it is just beautiful. It really, as well as the previous fragrance, it really relaxes me. I did wear this one to a beach club and it smelled intoxicating on the skin. It becomes quite sweet and warm on the skin as well. Absolutely love this one. Blue Heart from Thameen. Okay guys, another one of my favorites. It is Loubimar from Louboutin. I did a video on my Instagram stories about this fragrance, and if you watch them, you know what I'm about to say. Honestly, I'm shocked of how good the line is from Louboutin. I was not expecting it. Maybe it's a little bit judgmental, but because Louboutin is known for shoes and for bags, etc., mostly shoes, I was not expecting their perfumes to be incredible. They're incredible, really. They're absolutely top tier fragrances. Guys, this smells really similar to Rouge Malachite in my opinion. It is a fresher version of Rouge Malachite. I am absolutely in love. They're by no means dupes of each other. Rouge Malachite is a little more creamy, a little more ambery in the dry down, a little more full. Loubimar is a little more fresh, but they definitely have a similar personality. And if you like Rouge Malachite, you're going to love Loubimar. It's just beautiful. By far one of my favorite releases of this year. I absolutely adore this fragrance. I was going to travel with it when I spent 3 weeks in Europe, but because of the cap and the bottle was really heavy, I didn't take it. It is a beautiful tuberose fragrance, but it has, like I said, the DNA of Rouge Malachite, but fresher. It has sea salt in the top, it has some lemon, it has tuberose, a little bit of a musky dry down, and I just love it. It gives me that same like beachy, creamy tuberose feeling, but not too much. The tuberose is not heavy or weighed down. It is just very sexy, very sensual. It has all of the aspects that I love about Rouge Malachite, but in here and done in a more fresher way. Loubimar by Louboutin, hands down one of my favorite releases of the year, and you guys know why. I did want to mention something. I have a sample here from Obvious. Obvious is a eco-friendly brand. From A to Z, it's eco-friendly. The alcohol they use in the perfumes, the bottles, the caps, everything is eco-friendly. And they are releasing a fragrance. I'm not sure when. I cannot show it. I know that's really annoying, but I smelled it. Pierre has been non-stop wearing it. You can kind of see by the bottle we don't have that much juice left, and I am, oh my god, obsessed with it. So I cannot wait for this to be released. I hope it's this year because I need a bottle of this one ASAP. It's just absolutely fantastic. I think it could honestly be like the next big thing, this fragrance. That's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this very long video, very rambly video. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about my favorite new releases of 2022, and that is it. I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.